I have come to put an end to this. It was Christmas 1997, and I, a 7-year-old boy, was distracted by Crash Bandicoot. Meanwhile, in the dark catacombs existed another game waiting for me. 23 years later, it has made a reappearance and it waits for me again. This time, I'm finishing the job. Beginning as Richter Belmont to face off with Dracula in some of the worst voice acting ever witnessed in a video game.
Die, monster! You don't belong in this world!
It was not by my hand that I'm once again given flesh. I was called here by humans who wish to pay me tribute.
Tribute? You steal men's souls and make them your slaves.
Perhaps the same could be said of all religions.
Your words are as empty.
What a story, Mark.
It's me, Chris.
Is that you, Rebecca?
Mr. Walter, secrets! But enough talk! How about you?
As Dracula transformed into a nightmarish beast, similar to that of Harvey Weinstein. I mean, I guess it's pretty cool that the game takes place at the end of Bloodlines, so you get to reenact the last scene of the game. But what's the point? There's no way to die.
Now I'm wondering if you'll shut your pie hole long enough for me to make a point.
Then the credits roll. So I thought the night was over. How wrong I was. Our trials have only begun. Richter disappeared 4 years later, and 1 additional year later, Alucard emerged from his slumber to discover what was going on in Dracula's castle. Alucard is easy to control, his weapon is incredible, and the symphonic portion of the title is accurate and telling. Then suddenly, death appears and takes all of my weapons and armor.
Even see it coming.
No matter, I'll punch my way through this castle if I have to. Oh, Casey, so glad you could join.
Yeah, so about that. I already gave you my schedule, and I told you tonight is not a good night. On top of everything else that's going on in the world right now, you haven't been answering my phone calls.
I have been avoiding human contact. I feel as though humans have lost their way in this great house called planet Earth.
Well, it sounds like you have a bit of an existential crisis on your hands right now. But like I said, tonight is not a good night. It's my anniversary, meeting my wife for dinner at Crack and Crab, her favorite restaurant. I have gas that I need to put in my car right now. I have a flight to catch first thing in the morning. Tonight is not a good night. You would have known that had you answered your phone.
But the night is young. Come. Dine with me. Tonight's dinner is the pungent hatred, served cold, dying within these walls like a tomb of my own accord.
Dude, I already told you, tonight's not a good night. It's my anniversary dinner tonight, and...
Contract. Signed in blood.
Alright. Seriously, after we do this, we're gonna have a contract renegotiation. To save your progress, which you'll need to do constantly throughout the game, Alucard has to go into this room which has this thing that turns into a coffin. Huh. Using a coffin to save as a vampire. How freaking original. Actually, it is pretty original.
After death takes your weapons away, you will be presented with a short sword and a red rust soon thereafter. Whatever you do not waste your time with red rust. It sucks. Half the time it doesn't work, so it may as well be your death now.
As is tradition with the Castlevania franchise, hearts don't count towards health, they instead give you ammo for your special weapons. To be honest, it gets a little confusing because I keep forgetting that, and I go out of my way trying to collect hearts as health points.
Just a few rooms later, and you will confront the first boss of the game. Hopefully by this point you've gotten used to the fairly simple controls and how to use your special weapon, because if you haven't, this will probably be where you get your first game over screen. You will basically look like Michael Scott in a free throw contest.
I really have to comment, for a game rated T for Tennessee, there is an absurd amount of blood here.
Thankfully, like any good RPG, you eventually get stronger and equip better weapons, because in the beginning, it takes for goddamn ever to kill some of these guys.
Why won't you die?
Oh, good God. This game has some of the most demented looking monsters in all of classic gaming. I mean, seriously, what is this guy, like 12'9"?
You continue to traverse down corridor after corridor of uniquely designed and well thought out rooms, while gigantic monsters threaten your progress. However, with the right weapons, you'll be in good hands. Here in the clock room of the Marble Gallery, we meet Marie, who is apparently here for the same reason, which means we get to join forces, right? Nope.
Bye, Felicia.
There are hidden treats in the background. Oh, what is that? What is that? Oh, great. No, seriously, terrific. I guess Little Shop of Horrors. Where's that little house on the prairie? I always forget which one. Has joined our fun.
Pretty soon, you meet the second boss, and you can already tell that it is going to be excruciating by the way that they are building up the fight.
Holy Joseph Gordon-Levitt, it's his twin brother.
Nah, doppelganger for sure. And if you use the clock icon, it is simply impossible for him to fight back.
I've really got to hand it to the Master Librarian here. While he isn't helpful in the least, he's at least loyal, and that's a hard thing to find these days.
I need your help.
Nah, he's only loyal until you grease the wheels a little bit. Pay him some cash and he'll change his mind.
You won't go unrewarded.
Really? In that case, just tell me what you
Here,
need.
you can buy, sell, study enemy cards, and learn how to fight bosses that you've already battled.
Things that could have been brought to my attention yesterday!
You're eventually going to get to a place in the game that you're not going to be ready for yet because you have not acquired the double jump.
So you'll end up naturally taking a different route, and you'll fall forever.
Somehow you'll survive and find yourself facing off with a giant snake monster. If you thought that the snake boss was too easy, then you're most definitely in luck. As you've guessed it, there's another boss just up ahead. This game and bosses, man. Anyway, thankfully I was able to glitch myself behind them for an easy victory. Huh. I wonder what this crate is doing right here.
I'll take you to a place which might be interesting for you.
What are your qualifications?
Well, I attended Juilliard. I'm a graduate of the Harvard Business School. I travel quite extensively. I lived through the Black Plague, and I had a pretty good time during that. I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. Not to mention the fact that you're talking to a dead guy. Now what do you think?
Somewhere down the way, you run into Maria again. Alucard tells her that the castle has changed. How convenient.
Oh well,
and she still ditches you.
Good luck.
One of the most beautifully designed portions of the entire castle is the church. However, it is rather unsettling for some reason when I see spirits going to confessional.
Hey, check it out! I'm ringing hell's bells! You know, for a 2D title, the cloud effects are really nice in this one.
Oh look, another boss. This time it's a hippogriff. But I mean, what else is there really to say? Study the pattern and move on. Just in time for another pointless conversation with Maria.
What is it you want?
Do you know the name Richter Belmont?
Of course.
If you see him, please let me know.
As you wish.
Thank you.
Oh, sweet! This is the part of the game where you get the slingshot, which gives you the ability to double jump. It's a random icon for double jumping, but alright.
I think something that I really admire is how Symphony of the Night stays true to its predecessors, but is expansive and open for what was considered to be a modern experience. Damn it, stop kicking my ass. Really trying here, guys.
Now with the double jump, we can finally proceed to the clock tower, and I'm starting to wonder how long this game really is.
Today, Junior?
The clock tower is clustered with deadly enemies, and is essentially a death trap upon entry. Man, I hated this section. It gets easier later though, thankfully.
This boss battle is reminiscent of when you battle Dracula in Castlevania 2, because once you start throwing holy water at them, it's over. They can't do anything.
Enveloped in darkness, heads of lions courageously lend us the sight of fire bouncing from brick walls to lead us into that familiar tower. Unfortunately, we haven't learned to fly and immediately get attacked by little tiny hunchbacks, or whatever that is. To be totally honest, they used to give me nightmares when I was a kid. Oh, God.
So here's a random little tidbit for all you Castlevaniacs out there. You can look through this little telescope, and when it's foggy, you can even see the oarsmen. What's the point? Is there one? No. It's just to waste your freaking time.
For those of you who haven't played this, you're probably wondering when we're going to run into Richter again. Well, hold on to your wallets, because we see him at the Colosseum.
Who are you? Open Hell's Gate. Come forth, my servants. The scent of your blood. You're a Belmont. Crush this flea.
Yak. Another stupid easy boss battle. Next.
So he says he's the lord of this castle.
Yes, Alucard. Talk to your imaginary friend. At this point in the game, you'll be able to turn into a bat. You'll be able to turn into mist. And even a wolf. I really fail to see how a wolf actually helps you progress in the game, but whatever, I mean, it's something. The mist, however, and the bat are going to be used constantly, especially the mist. It's really nice. Enemies can't harm you that way.
Now we get to face off the Richter Belmont, and after 9 days straight playing the game without seeing your family, you find out you just got the crappy ending.
Unbridled wrath. It's over, Belmont.
The castle gets vaporized, and Alucard makes a speech about how mankind continues to tear themselves apart. I think we need to try and get the good ending. At least a better ending than this. I mean, this just sucks. Yeah, absolutely not.
By this point in your adventure, you're bound to have picked up at least 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 little buddies. They'll either heal you along the way or help you fight off evil monsters.
Below the castle are these disturbingly creepy rooms called the catacombs. which are located below the mines and have these vacated carcasses of those who once were, as well as some fairly tough monsters and gravekeepers. I mean, give me a break.
Oh, hell no!
That can't be true. You're wrong.
And once again, we
can
see another pointless bit of dialogue thanks to our good sweetheart friend Maria. Alucard sure has a way with women, except ones with 2 legs.
Now, want to see the most moronic plot hole in video gaming history?
No, you're not my mother. What kind of demon are you?
You broke free of my spell. I like that.
Demon, death is too good for you.
Darkling, I smell your blood. You're a
Did you see the problem? This succubus literally played Alucard's mother to trick him, and yet she doesn't realize it's Alucard until he defeats her.
If you go back to the clock room with both the silver and gold rings, the floor opens up and you proceed to the next little slice of hell. Enjoy.
Take these with you.
What are these?
If you wear these, you can see beyond evil illusions.
I see where they're going with this.
Now with those stupid glasses that Maria gives you, you can go and fight Richter. But this time, you will instead destroy the orb which follows him.
You've defeated me.
We're banging on all cylinders now.
So in case you weren't paying attention, the castle is now flipped completely upside down. Which is cool and all, as far as effect-wise, but it's completely disorienting, and it's a really hard thing to get used to.
Once the castle has been inverted, the goal changes to collect pieces of Dracula in order to resurrect him. I've never understood why they have us do that in these games. If you have all of the pieces of Dracula, why not burn them in different places? I'm sure somebody's going to tell me why. I still can't imagine that it's going to make much sense to me, though. But that's just my opinion.
Well, if it isn't the bastard that stole all my weapons and armor in the beginning of the game. He seems pretty confident they'll be able to defeat me. Judges?
So you are the one who is controlling Belmont? Yes. I am the dark priest called Shaft.
Hey, wait a minute, what the hell?
This world must be for centuries. Vampire hunters have defeated evil with holy power.
I'm sorry, what's that?
If 2 vampire hunters were to fight each other. But Belmont's power is supreme among vampire hunters.
Oh, for Pete's sake, enough with the talking. Let's show this bitch how we do things downtown. And now, it's the moment that you've all been waiting for. Alucard, after facing off with Shaft, has finally taken all of the pieces of his father, and he's finally making the final confrontation.
What were Lisa's last words?
She said, "Do not hate humans. If you cannot live with them, then at least do them no harm. For theirs is already a hard lot." She also said to tell you that she would love you for all of eternity.
Lisa, forgive me. Farewell, my son.
Are you okay?
I've been wrong.
Yeah, you've been wrong. Now I have to explain to my wife this.
I've been wrong to hate humans.
Come again?
How can I hate humans when I am one?
How could I have been so weak when I should have been strong?
Alright, well, goodbye. Monday, contract renegotiation, don't be late.
Farewell, my brother. I must go. Humans do not deserve my hatred. They are already a hard lot. We need each other more than ever, come hell, high water, and when our world is flipped upside down. The light of love will conquer the darkness of hatred. Always.
'Twould be best for this world if I were to disappear forever.
Don't we deserve a good ending?
No.